Life can feel like a roller coaster sometimes, can't it? Ups and downs, twists and turns. Sometimes it feels like we're just holding on for dear life. And in those moments when the winds are howling and the waves are crashing, we have a choice to make: fear or faith. It's easy to get caught up in the worry and anxiety. The what-ifs can start to consume us. But there's another way, a better way, the way of faith. It's about choosing to trust in something bigger than ourselves, even when we don't understand what's happening. You see, faith isn't about ignoring the storm. It's about looking the storm in the eye and saying, "I know you're there, but I also know my God is bigger." It's about finding peace and strength in the midst of the chaos. So, the next time life throws you a curveball, remember this: you have a choice. Will you choose fear or will you choose faith? Remember the story of Peter walking on water? It's one of the most powerful examples of faith over fear in the entire Bible. Peter, filled with faith, stepped out of the boat and onto the raging sea. He was walking on water. But then, he took his eyes off Jesus and focused on the wind and the waves. He started to sink. Fear crept in and he began to doubt. How many of us can relate to Peter? We start off strong, filled with faith and ready to take on the world. But then, the storms of life hit and we start to sink. We lose sight of God's promises and allow fear to take over. But here's the good news. Just like Jesus reached out and pulled Peter up, he's always there to lift us up when we fall. All we have to do is call out to him. We all face tough times in life, moments of grief, loss, and pain. It's during these times that we need encouragement the most. And who better to offer that encouragement than Jesus himself? In the story of Lazarus, we see Jesus' incredible compassion and love. Lazarus was sick, and by the time Jesus arrived, he had already passed away. His sisters Martha and Mary were heartbroken. Jesus, moved with compassion, wept with them. He felt their pain. And then he did something extraordinary. He raised Lazarus from the dead. This story reminds us that Jesus is right there with us in our suffering. He understands our pain and he wants to bring us comfort and hope. He may not always answer our prayers in the way we expect, but we can be sure that he's always working things out for our good. Have you ever been frustrated because things weren't happening according to your plan? It's easy to get caught up in our own timelines and agendas, but God's ways are higher than our ways, and his timing is always perfect. In the story of Lazarus, Martha was upset that Jesus hadn't arrived sooner to heal her brother. "Lord," she said, "if you had been here, my brother would not have died." But Jesus gently reminded her that he is the resurrection and the life. He had a plan, even though it wasn't what Martha had envisioned. Sometimes God allows us to go through difficult seasons for a reason. He's using those experiences to shape us, mold us, and prepare us for something greater. The disciples had a plan. They were going to help Jesus establish his kingdom on earth. They had it all figured out, or so they thought. But then, Jesus was crucified. Their hopes and dreams were shattered. They were confused, afraid, and uncertain about the future. But God had a different plan, a plan that involved Jesus rising from the dead and offering salvation to the entire world. A plan that was far greater than anything the disciples could have ever imagined. The disciples' story teaches us that we need to be open to God's plan, even when it doesn't make sense to us. He sees the bigger picture, and he knows what's best for us. Imagine a beautiful tapestry. From the front, it's a masterpiece of colors and intricate designs, but flip it over and you'll see a jumbled mess of threads. That's kind of how life is, isn't it? We see the messy threads, the heartaches, the disappointments, the unanswered prayers. We wonder why God would allow such things to happen. But God, the master weaver, sees the finished product. He knows that every thread, even the ones that seem out of place, is necessary to create something beautiful and extraordinary. So the next time you're tempted to question God's plan, remember the tapestry. Trust that he's working behind the scenes, weaving together a masterpiece far beyond your wildest dreams. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us to do more, be more, achieve more. But true peace isn't found in our accomplishments or possessions. It's found in surrendering to God's plan. When we let go of our need to control everything, when we trust that God has it all under control, we experience a peace that surpasses all understanding. It's not about being passive or giving up on our dreams. It's about aligning our will with God's will. It's about saying, God, I trust you. I know you have my best interests at heart, and I surrender my plans to you. Faith is not a one-time decision. It's a daily journey. It's about choosing to trust God every step of the way, even when we don't understand what He's doing. It's about stepping out of our comfort zones and into the unknown, knowing that He's walking beside us. It's about believing in His promises, even when we don't see them yet. Your journey of faith starts today. It starts with a simple prayer, a prayer of surrender, a prayer that says, God, I trust you. Lead the way. Living a life of faith requires courage. Courage to face our fears. Courage to step out of our comfort zones. Courage to trust God even when it's hard. But it also requires surrender. Surrender to God's will. Surrender to His timing. Surrender to His plan. When we combine courage with surrender, we unlock a life of purpose and meaning. A life filled with peace, joy, and unwavering faith. So, let's choose to live lives of courage and surrender. Let's choose faith over fear. And let's watch in amazement as God does extraordinary things in and through us.